Clara sat alone at a corner table in a bustling city restaurant, the kind where the evening sun streamed through large glass windows, casting a warm golden glow across polished wooden floors. She tugged nervously at her necklace, a small silver pendant. While scanning the menu she barely read. Being a single mom of a 7-year-old daughter, life had left little room for indulgence, and tonight was meant to be her rare evening off. Her brown hair fell in soft waves around her shoulders, partially hiding her anxious expression. She wore a fitted navy blue blouse and dark jeans, casual yet polished. Around her, the restaurant hummed with conversation, clinking glasses and the faint aroma of fresh herbs and baked bread, but she barely noticed. Her mind was elsewhere, thinking of her daughter at home and the whirlwind of responsibilities she juggled daily. Minutes passed, and Clara nibbled absent-mindedly at a breadstick, still nervously watching the door for the man she expected, unaware that tonight's encounter would defy all expectations. Then the entrance opened, and a tall, sharply dressed man stepped in. Ethan Maxwell, a 40-year-old CEO with short, dark brown hair neatly styled, piercing hazel eyes, fair skin, and wearing a tailored charcoal gray suit with a crisp white shirt and no tie, scanned the room purposefully. His polished shoes clicked against the wooden floor as he walked toward her. Clara's chest tightened slightly, unsure whether to feel startled, flattered, or anxious. The ambient light reflected off his suit, highlighting his authoritative yet approachable demeanor. Without hesitation, he leaned slightly toward her table and whispered with a mischievous grin, "Pretend I'm your husband." Clara blinked, stunned, the words hanging in the warm air like an unexpected invitation into an entirely new story. Clara's mind raced as she processed the bold statement. She looked up into Ethan's sharp hazel eyes, trying to read whether this was a joke or some calculated plan. Ethan, sensing her hesitation, leaned back casually, exuding confidence without arrogance, his tailored jacket draped perfectly over his shoulders. "I promise it'll be fun," he added softly, a hint of charm in his voice. Clara's brown eyes widened slightly, the initial shock melting into curiosity. Around them, the restaurant's other patrons continued their quiet conversations, the golden light reflecting off the polished surfaces and softly lit wooden panels. Clara adjusted her posture, her hands clasped lightly on the table as she considered the unusual proposal. The warm ambient lighting cast a gentle glow on her expressive face, highlighting the mixture of surprise, intrigue, and cautious excitement. Ethan took the seat across from Clara without asking formally, his casual confidence asserting a surprising ease into the scene. Clara's initial discomfort softened as he smiled, his hazel eyes sparkling in the warm lighting. She noticed the subtle details, the cufflinks that caught the light, the slight crease in his tailored trousers, the calm yet attentive way he held himself. Clara's hair fell neatly over her shoulders, and her navy blouse contrasted softly with the restaurant's golden tones. "So," Ethan said lightly, "shall we order like a married couple might? You pick the appetizer." Clara hesitated briefly, a nervous laugh escaping her. Her anxiety slowly shifted into an odd thrill, the kind that comes with an unexpected turn of events, a suspenseful and tantalizing unknown. The surrounding diners remained unaware of the quiet, intimate drama unfolding at the corner table bathed in soft, clear lighting. They ordered, exchanging polite banter and subtle teasing that made Clara's laughter more frequent, her tension easing with each moment. Ethan listened attentively as she shared a little about her work and her daughter, his expression one of genuine interest and warmth. Clara's initial skepticism faded as she realized he wasn't overbearing, just unexpectedly charming and personable. The small table between them held 2 water glasses and a shared bread basket. Light from the restaurant's overhead fixtures reflected off their faces, emphasizing subtle expressions, the way Clara's lips curved nervously into a smile, and the faint crease of concentration on Ethan's brow as he nodded understandingly. The emotional tension of the scene mingled with quiet suspense, making the moment feel intimate yet entirely natural. The waiter returned with their first course, and Clara noticed Ethan's polite gestures, handing her the menu first, making sure she was comfortable, subtly demonstrating social awareness that didn't feel forced. Clara's nervous energy began to shift into curiosity, the suspense of the situation giving her a peculiar sense of excitement. She adjusted her blouse slightly and smoothed her hair back as the conversation deepened, discussing childhood memories, work challenges, and humorous anecdotes from their lives. Ethan leaned in just enough to show attentiveness, his hazel eyes never leaving hers. The restaurant's warm, bright lighting reflected across the polished wooden floor and softly illuminated walls, creating a visually clear and emotionally engaging environment, enhancing the subtle emotional tension of the unexpected interaction. As the main course arrived, Clara felt a surprising ease settle over her, the initial shock of Ethan's proposition evolving into genuine connection. They shared stories about the joys and struggles of parenthood, the trials of work, and the quirks of city life. Clara's brown hair gleamed softly under the bright ambient light, her expressive face revealing laughter, wonder, and intrigue. Ethan maintained his composed posture, his tailored charcoal suit contrasting softly with Clara's casual navy blouse. The golden light highlighted small gestures, the way he passed her the salt, the polite distance he maintained while leaning slightly closer to indicate attentiveness. The restaurant's background glimmered softly with warm reflections, emphasizing a mood that was simultaneously suspenseful, intimate, and emotionally rich. A subtle pause in their conversation brought a soft tension. Clara's brown eyes met Ethan's hazel ones, a silent acknowledgement of the unusual circumstances. Around them, other diners chatted quietly, oblivious to the unspoken connection forming at the corner table. Ethan smiled gently, leaning slightly forward, his voice soft yet confident. "Pretending isn't necessary if you don't want it," he whispered. Clara's heart raced slightly as she realized the evening had transformed into something more than a playful suggestion. It had become a delicate dance of curiosity, attraction, and cautious vulnerability. The bright, clear lighting reflected across both of their faces, emphasizing sincerity, suspense, and the intimate tension that had built naturally over their conversation. Dessert arrived, a small chocolate tart for Clara and a fruit sorbet for Ethan, and their conversation took a lighter turn. Clara's laughter rang softly, blending naturally with the ambient sounds of the restaurant, the clinking of cutlery and low murmur of other patrons. She noticed the subtle attentiveness in Ethan's demeanor, the relaxed tilt of his head, the slight sparkle in his hazel eyes. The suspense of the unexpected encounter was still present, but it had shifted into playful curiosity. Clara's brown hair fell softly over her shoulders, and her smile reflected both surprise and intrigue. The bright, even lighting of the restaurant highlighted each expression clearly, keeping the scene upscale friendly and visually engaging while emphasizing the evolving emotional connection. As the evening concluded, Clara realized she had forgotten her initial nervousness entirely. Ethan escorted her to the door, his polished shoes reflecting the warm glow of the streetlights outside. She glanced up at him, her expression a mixture of amusement, curiosity, and genuine warmth. "Thank you," she said softly, "for this." Ethan smiled gently, a reassuring yet confident presence, his tailored charcoal suit contrasting softly with the evening light. The restaurant's interior remained visible behind them, brightly lit and inviting, while the city outside glimmered softly. The accidental, unusual start of the evening had blossomed into a memorable encounter, filled with suspense, emotional warmth, and unexpected connection. A night neither would forget, illuminated in bright, realistic detail.